Hello, excuse the noise. Uh, Today I'm talking about alkylating agents, nitrogen mustards, cyclophosphamide, and cisplatin. And just to briefly go into history, nitrogen mustards are what you think of when you think of mustard gas, but the refined form. And in in the future of what this became, would be after they noticed that mustard gases had some anti-cancerous effects slowly, and it would people found that people who were sprayed and survived had low lymphocytes counts. What that eventually became is cyclophosphamide. So you still see there's nitrogen here, but it's also has phosphorus core, and it does have its carbon, so it's organic. And on the other side there's cisplatin, which is unique on its own, but it has a platinum core. So they both grab DNA to cause cell cycle arrest, but they have very two different methods of how they do that. So cisplatin is more like a crowbar. There's a train that needed to get working. This would disable and distort how it would function. While cyclophosphamide is more like handcuffs, even though maybe really big handcuffs or big chain, that would disrupt the function of how a train could get through also. They both grab DNA and cause cell cycle to rest, but in different ways, and we'll explain. So cyclophosphamide and cisplatin, they're two alkylating agents, but they differ greatly. Cisplatin is in a league of its own, but cyclophosphamide clearly comes from nitrogen gut mustards. So cyclophosphamide is a nitrogen mustard alkylator with a phosphorus core, like I explained. Cisplatin is a platinum coordination complex with a platinum core. Like cyclophosphamide is organic. You see no carbons, carbon ring, carbons. While cisplatin is not. There's no carbons here. Cyclophosphamide is large, and for DNA locking, like I explained. Cisplatin is small, and for DNA distortion. Cyclophosphamide is activated by the liver enzyme, so that's very important. While cisplatin is by chloride drop, but really you should think of it as kidneys. In clinical, you should know it's more controlled by the kidneys. It is more by the liver. Cyclophosphamide is more for blood cancers, while cisplatin is more for solid tumors. Yeah, so like I said, cyclophosphamide, to make it simple, cyclophosphamide is handcuffs, or maybe just a really big chain that you would wrap around, and it would disrupt the train. Well, cisplatin is the crowbar that distorts it completely, or just enough where it doesn't function. But how they grab DNA and cause cell cycle is different. So cyclophosphamine targets DNA replication and kills the cells that want to divide, while cisplatin targets transcription. So, yeah, and it kills the cells that need to express genes. And that's a brief overview on these two, but I'll get back to it another time. So thanks.